In this episode, we enjoy the Veenhoop group and are planning our way down to the south of Tonga. But we do a shocking discovery. How can we continue? But first, this is me, Kim. There is Bart, and here is Liz, our little explorer. We sold everything to explore these beautiful places with our tiny 33-foot sailboat, Tranquility. In the last episode, we enjoyed Veenhoop, swimming, having fun with friends in an anchorage, but we also experienced the highlight of our trip. We went for a swim with whales. We have arrived in Anchorage 16 and it's an island where David and his family live and known for the feasts, which we are going to attend tomorrow on Saturday. And it's a really friendly, kind family. So yesterday they came over with some papaya and now they delivered breakfast. It's cassava with coconut and ja, sugar.
Niet dat losmaken.
So,
Niet
looks really good.
Oh.
It's good.
It's good, but it's got a coconut taste, and there's a smoky taste to it. So I think the cassava has been cooked on fire, and it's chewy. The cassava is chewy, so it's
Sweet?
and it's sweet, but there's a very smoky flavor in it as well. I don't know if you like it.
We'll try. The breakfast was not my cup of tea, but we loved the kindness. After the food, it was playtime. Liz wanted to try her tube behind the dinghy, so here we go. And there is a very pretty reef around the corner, but to get there you have to go over the edge of the reef to get to the other side. That is quite intense because you have to time it right with the waves and high water to be able to swim over the coral. It is worth the effort because it's the most beautiful coral we have seen so far, with the songs of the whales in the background.
Are at anchorage number 16. It's a very well protected anchorage, and we came in here 2 days ago, and we were only with Amai, 2 boats. A guy on the beach named David came by and he explained to us that he is going to organize a feast. We have to pay for it, but it's gonna have a lot of food, and he is supporting his entire family with the money that he gets, so that feels good. He gave us some welcoming papaya, and the next morning he gave us some breakfast, and then he gave us some coconuts, so it's all very nice. But now we're in this anchorage, and it's not just Amai and I and we were going to the feast, but the entire bay filled up with boats. So I think they're gonna be around 20-25 people. which is very good for David, but it's not the nice, easy, calm anchorage anymore. So we packed our stuff, and now we take the dinghy and go ashore.
It was a wonderful evening with plenty of food.
So, getting ready for our trip to New Zealand. It's gonna be probably the toughest trip we are going to make so far. More on that later. But we want to check our rigging again. We checked already the bottom parts, all the attachments to the deck. Yeah, you can help us. All the attachments to the deck. We checked the shrouds. And now we're gonna check in the top, because here on Tonga there's like 5 or 6 boats we know of that have trouble with their rig. So either 2 boats lost their mast, and a couple of other boats that had broken forestays, side stays. Well, terrible. So better be safe and check what's going on in the top up there. So Kim's gonna go up.
I went up and it doesn't look good. So Bart's going to double check and make better footage than I did. And then we have to come up with a plan. A pretty good one. So Bart went up again, and yeah, it's one of the tiers. I think it's it isn't loose, but there is space around the tier, so it's broken inside probably. Must be. So now, yeah, here on Tonga there are no solutions. So we are now looking if there is an option to get maybe stays from Fiji, and otherwise maybe somebody can bring it in from New Zealand. Yeah, it's stupid that we didn't do it earlier, that we waited this long. It's lessons learned. And the stupid thing is, of course, you don't expect it to be on the top. But so we have to deal with this now. And well, I can tell you this, the whole spirit on board is gone. That's not really nice, what we want. But yeah, lows during our trip, and it's just the final passage. We're almost at it. Doesn't make any sense, but still. It is a worrying situation, but right now we cannot fix it. So we need time to set our minds onto something else to get the spirits up again. For Bart, that is participating in a race on a true race boat.
What do you think? They organize a race here in the marina in Tonga, and I I just hopped aboard as crew on this Jeanneau 3600 race boat. It's like everything is alight in this boat. It's really cool.
And in the meantime, different solutions pass through our minds. The cruising community around here is amazing and everybody is thinking along and helping us out. But before we make a final decision what to do, we will at least put in a temporary solution.
Right, update on the rigging. We have very friendly neighbors around, so they all were thinking along. We found actually a hook terminal that is supposed to fit in the slot that we had, and it has an eye on it, so you can make like a Dyneema line, which I have here. And then somebody else came up with, I've got a fitting that you can attach mechanically, so not swaged, that's like pressed onto your stay. And so this mechanical one is you cut it, you open up the wires, you put a cone in, and then you screw a top cap on a bottom cap. And if you do that, then because it's mechanical and there's a cone in, it just compresses it and the cable is not going anywhere, and then there's a nice eye on it. But still, then you've got the eye, and then we've got the loop of the hook terminal. And then the thing was that we might make a Dyneema loop. But I also want to discuss this with a rigger, and a rigger that I already told that he has a job when we go to New Zealand, so he's not so he doesn't benefit, and so his opinion is gonna be good. So I asked him, like, what do you think about this solution and sailing to New Zealand, and then you can make me a very nice new stay. He wasn't convinced. He said this one is actually made for a running backstay and not for my stays, and they tend to have way more load, so he didn't trust the ring. He couldn't say just sail to New Zealand with the broken wire, but he said I trust the broken wire one more than your solution. So well, there might be an option for him to get a new stay quite fast, maybe in the last island of Tonga, where we still have to go. So that's now our best shot. And also the hook terminal wasn't a great fit in the backing plate that we had. So yeah, now what we are going to do is we just attach everything back again, and we're gonna sail down to Tongatapu. I'm just making a small Dyneema line on it. So I'm gonna hoist this one. It's gonna go through the mast and comes out on the other side, and then down on where the broken stay is. So if it's going to break, this one takes the load, and maybe we can like share the load a bit. So let's see. All right, I am up here at the mast again. So we put in the wrong the faulty stay back in again, and we're gonna tension it. And what I did, it doesn't deserve any award-winning prizes, but I made a little loop around this one, and that goes through the mast, through a plastic tube, garden hose, and comes out on this side. I attach it so I don't want to lose the plastic cap. I just made that so there's no chafing, and then this will all be tight and going down over the other one. So this little line, which is a very strong line. Can take a little bit of the load when this might be snapping. And then we have at least a line holding it in place so we can lower the sill. Yesterday I finalized our insurance. I made a Dyneema Extra lower shroud. So I just rigged it next to the lower shroud where the one broken wire is. We have ordered a new stay which will arrive in Nuku'alofa. That's the bottom, the southernmost island of Tonga. And it will arrive there in about 7 days. So we can sail down. But in order to sail down, I wanted to have a little bit of extra security. I think my stay is going to hold because one wire is not structural, but it's a sign that it's breaking. So something is not right. But I think it's okay for just a trip down south. That's only 160 nautical miles and we do it in day trips. But just to be sure that if the stay might break, the mast will not fall down, but there's coming a heavy load on only the top stay. So now with the small Dyneema line in place, if it breaks, this line will take the load and we have time to take down the mainsail. So the mast doesn't, well, it shouldn't fall down, but the entire load is not only on the top stay, and that can cause the top stay to break and then the mast can fall down. So this one is good. So the cool thing about Dyneema is you can make almost anything out of it. So what I did was I put a low friction ring to the end of the stay. The stay is of 6mm diameter Dyneema, and the lower shroud is 8mm stainless, but the 6mm Dyneema wire is as strong as 8mm stainless steel. If you would replace the entire shroud for Dyneema, that's not recommended because there's too much stretch still on Dyneema. And if you want to do it, then go for the same diameter or a bit bigger because there's less stretch the bigger you go. For now, it's only a prevention to take the load when this one breaks. So it doesn't really matter that it's a little bit stretchy.
Go, 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 go.
Besides the trouble, we also enjoyed the Blue Water Festival here in Vavau. A whole week with different activities with the cruises around here. And of course there's a race. We are all participating, but on different boats. Liz and I are on Blue Barrel, with Sander and Yvette from the Netherlands. And Bart is on Orion, a French race boat. Who is going to win?
So, all right, Kim, if you see this, you had got a good start. You were fast. That's all position-wise, but we're on your tail. Look. All right, so it's a friendly race, but it's really on now. It's I'm sorry I couldn't film at the start, but we were so busy getting the boat ready, getting the spinnaker up. It was a bit hectic. We made one mistake. We put a spinnaker pole on the wrong side, so we had to change all of that in the end. But We are third. We already took one boat and we're gonna catch the other one. Where Kim is on, that's the Blue Barrel. Sander, you had a very good start. Congrats to that, but we're gonna take you.
Yeah. No, on the other one.
Yeah, sailing.
Yes, we are sailing, we are racing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we can win.
Are we going to win?
Yes.
Maybe. Well, we did not win, but we had a spectacular start. We were the fastest and a lot of fun on board. We even won some prizes for the best start, of course, the youngest crew member and the best outfit. Not bad at all. It was a fun and well-organized week, with a lot of activities and good food. We had a cultural tour and lots of useful information about the trip to New Zealand and the check-in procedure, because everybody around here is worried about the biosecurity in New Zealand. The information was really good and took away a lot of questions that were there because of some misinformation.
Well, this was it. If you have any questions, please let us know. And for now, goodbye and thank you very much for watching. Fair winds to you all.